Good afternoon. Hope you're having a great week. It is Wednesday, November 13th, 12:27 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, local time here in Oregon. I'm on Interstate 84 westbound. I'm up in the mountains, just east of Pendleton. I think I'm about 35 miles from Pendleton. So I'm about somewhere around 30 miles east of Pendleton. This is exit 243 Summit Road, Mount Emily, that we're driving past right now. So I'm going to try to do some driving footage. This camera sucks at night, so I'm trying to do some daytime driving footage because at night it's just a black screen. And I know some people like the talking videos, some people like the driving videos. So I haven't made a driving video in a while, so we're going to try and do that. And hey, we've got some adverse weather. It's snowing. The temperature's 36 degrees outside. We're up in the mountains. We're you know, there's some stuff going on. So I will try to talk while we're driving. Pendleton, 33 miles. Meacham, 4 miles. Portland, 241. So let's talk about what's going on with me with the truck, and then we'll ramble about the boat dream. How awesome would it be to be anchored on, near some tropical island in like 10-foot deep water, just hanging out on a yacht right now. How awesome would that be? Not a Jeff Bezos yacht, but like the poor man's yacht that I could afford, the little 35 footer. My yacht probably wouldn't be as big as Bezos's dinghy or lifeboat or whatever on his yacht, but we have to have realistic dreams. So what's going on with me? Why am I not in Portland? I should have been in Portland already. Well, I don't want to get into detail because I'm in a pretty good mood now. I've been in a bad mood for several days because of the drama I've been dealing with, so I don't want to go into detail about the drama. Otherwise, I'll get in a bad mood again. 35 degrees. But basically, I sat in the shop in Memphis, Texas for 2 days getting all the issues with this trailer fixed. When I picked up the trailer, it had two flat tires. The ABS didn't work. And let me get the defrost on. Starting to get some stuff sticking on the windshield. Sorry, I'm going to be really quiet while I'm passing this person because we're going down a hill and I'm trying to avoid using my engine brakes. So I'm trying to manage my speed through braking and safely pass this person and watch for any adverse road conditions. So yeah, got all the issues fixed with the trailer finally around. Did I list off all the issues? Two flat tires, the anti-lock braking system didn't work, and it had a clearance light out. Got all those issues finally resolved Monday at 4 p.m. And as soon as we got those resolved, I pulled out of the bay, threw on the brakes, did a pre-trip inspection, and as soon as that was over, I took off driving to Portland. I've been running and really hard to try to make the delivery appointment. My original delivery appointment is Thursday at 8 a.m., tomorrow at 8 a.m. And it looks like I'm still going to make my delivery appointment, even with all of the delays that I've had. The weather has been awesome. Yes, I've been driving in snow and wet roads and stuff like that. Um, there's also been a lot of completely dry roads, no weather at all. And this is what it's been like when I've been driving through the snow. It's just been wet roads. There was a little section in Wyoming where the left lane was getting a little slushy. But all in all, road conditions and the weather have been amazing throughout this drive. And I have been getting bombarded with load alerts, phone calls from agents, text messages. I haven't even checked my email, but I've probably got email as well. I've just been getting tons and tons of contacts of people trying to move their cheap ass loads. Most of the load alerts are crap loads, but there are some decent ones in there. But what this is telling me is that the freight market in Portland is doing really well right now. There's a lot of loads they're trying to move out of the Portland area. Well, the Portland, Seattle area, because I have my load alert set up on a 250-mile radius around Portland. So, yeah, this is last time I was in Portland a couple months ago, I sat there for 3 or 4 weeks looking for a load. And there were no decent loads being posted. There were just like 3 agents that were just posting the same crappy loads over and over and over again. They just kept relisting them over and over again. So I was getting tons of load alerts, but it was just the same crap loads that these crap agents were just reposting over and over. Those agents are still doing that. So those are a large part of my load alerts, but there are some decent loads that I'm getting load alerts as well. What I might end up doing is just blocking those agents posting those loads, because I haven't seen those agents post any good loads. I try to avoid blocking agents. I think I only have one agent blocked, and it's the one agent that I have blacklisted. I think it's the DDB agency. Don't quote me on that, because one of the agents that I like working with, the one I'm hauling the load for right now, Dawn Flores, her agency, I think, is DDB. So um, don't quote me on that. There's some DB something agency that I'll never haul a load for again. I think that's the only one that I have blocked. But I might go ahead and block these agents up here in the Portland area, or the Oregon, Seattle, Portland area, that are posting these crap. Oh my God, this truck is passing me again. This is like the 3rd time this person has passed me. They're really slow. They're heavy. So I passed them going uphill like once or twice. And then once they're out in front, they get really uncomfortable. They don't know how fast they should be going. So the last time I just passed them, they were just going really slow because they didn't know how fast they should be going for road conditions. So they're going to piss me off if they get back in front of me again and there's no one for them to follow and they decide to just go slow again. They've already slowed down. They flew by me at like 70, and now they're, I can't tell for sure, but they seem like they're speed matching me. They just got in front of me, and now they're speed matching me. This is fucking awesome. He's blinding the shit out of me just sitting in front of me like that with all of the spray coming off his tires. All right, we're going to slow it down because we're starting to get, it's starting to stick on the road. 34 degrees. And it is sticking on the road. This guy's exiting. Nope, he threw his four ways on. Yeah, it is dumping snow. It's above freezing, 34 degrees, but it's snowing so hard that it's accumulating on the road. We're doing 53 miles an hour right now. Jesus. This person passing me is going through some big puddles and just drenched my truck. Blinded me. He hit a puddle that just blinded me. All right. Still 34, but there's no snow accumulation on the roads anymore. It's just really wet roads. We're doing 60 right now. All right, I see some slush on the roads. I don't recall the weather forecast saying that it was supposed to be dumping snow like this through this area. Must be nice to be a weatherman and be wrong like 90% of the time and not get fired. We're doing 60. We should be about 15 miles from the downgrade. All right, we're getting out of the snow. Still 34 degrees, but the snow is turning to rain. Once we go down the downgrade, we should be good. Right now, we're just bouncing in elevation between rain and snow. 18 miles to Pendleton. And it's a 6-mile downgrade, so that's 12 miles. Right here, 6 miles. First warning, 6 miles, 6% downgrade ahead. So we're getting close. All right. What the fuck? All trucks, next right. Way station is, they just threw it open. It was closed, and they just threw on the open sign. I got the bypass. Oh, wow. They're doing a bunch of inspections out here. They're checking to make sure people have chains and all kinds of shit. Wreck ahead, use right lane. So for those people out there that enjoy the talking videos, I apologize. For those that enjoy the driving videos, you're probably having a good time right now. And the thing about this really long grade is that it has a bunch of like 40-mile-per-hour turns. So you should not be going down this grade faster than 40. And I think it starts right around that second turn up ahead. Just a second here. We caught up with a four-wheeler that's going really slow. All right, is this the last warning? Because I think it starts around this turn. I could be wrong. Truck escape ramp 2.5 miles. All right, so let's go ahead and get down to 40 miles an hour. Yep, here's the downgrade. Last warning, 6 miles of 6% downgrade. All right, vehicles are moving really slow in front of me. Wreck ahead, use the right lane. Is the wreck right here? Is that the reason we're stopped? Or is there just some dumbass going way too slow up ahead? Oh my goodness. This is showing that we're crawling like this for a couple of miles. There's a couple of miles of going like 5 miles per hour. Accident ahead, left lane closed. Man, this must be a bad accident if they've had time to bring signs out here and shit like that. Boat life. All right. Oh crap, we're coming to a stop. My phone is still getting spammed with sorry, I'm trying to manage the defrost. I don't want this thing to there's some special little snowflake out here in the left lane passing everybody. No, we're all lined up in the right lane for no reason at all, ma'am. You just go ahead and pass everybody. Special little fucking tulip. Damn, this must be a bad accident. And they've got cones out here and everything. Everything. All the things. So yeah, I was trying to, if I get it too hot in here with the defrost, the phone will overheat. It'll mess up the video. So I was trying to turn down the defrost. All right, here's the accident. It's a semi truck rolled over the left guardrail. Most likely somebody coming down the hill too fast, and they lost control of the truck around this turn. That's what I was saying earlier about like how fast should you go down a hill. It's about stopping. It's not about like how much you need to use your brakes. Like people think that it's how much you use your brakes. Like, oh, I can go down a hill at 80 miles an hour at 80,000 pounds without burning out my brakes because my engine brakes are so good. But the thing is that what if you need to slow down or stop? Can you do that? No, you can't. So this person most likely came down the hill too fast, and then they had to slow down because it was a 40-mile-per-hour turn. I can't even tell what they're hauling. Bags of something. All right. So they were probably coming way too fast down the grade, and then they needed to slow down. They didn't even need to come to a stop. They just needed to slow down to 40 miles per hour for that turn, and they couldn't slow down fast enough. And they ended up taking the turn too fast and slid off the side of the road. I'm guessing that is what happened. Come on, four-wheeler. Don't just sit alongside of me. Why do you guys do that? I don't want somebody driving alongside me. These four-wheelers get out there to pass me, and I don't know what it is. They get into some kind of comfort zone or something when they're right alongside me, and they just loiter there. We got a long ways to go. 42 degrees Fahrenheit. So the temperature is climbing quite a bit as we're getting out of the mountains. We're doing 45 right now. So boat life. How is that boat life? Yeah, I'm not sure if I talked about it already, but I watched a couple of videos on the boat life. One of them was talking about, buying your first yacht and not understanding all of the expenses. And so somebody will have like $20,000 and they'll find a $20,000 yacht, they'll buy it, and now they don't have any more money. And they can't afford to get it legal to sail it. So he was breaking down, like, if you buy a $20,000 yacht, it's actually going to cost you a total of about $35,000 to get it legal to actually sail. And, it's registration, sales tax, insurance, a bunch of things like that. But the one thing that I was unaware of, this thing also has a false bottom on this hill. It's still a really steep grade. A lot of people, once they make it around this turn, they'll think that the grade is over with, but the grade continues for another mile or so. But it doesn't look like it's a steep downgrade, but it is. So people will get out and accelerate, and they'll speed up really quick. And then they're going to be slamming on their brakes to try to not go 100 miles an hour. But yeah, we're still on a 6% grade. It doesn't look like it, but we've still got a ways to go on this 6%. Yeah, there's semi trucks already hopping out in the left lane and taking off. They think the grade's over with. I have my engine brakes on the highest setting, and it's holding me at 44 miles an hour right now. That's how steep this grade is right here. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of semi trucks hopping out right now. And now that truck in front of me is slamming on their brakes to try to keep from going 80 miles an hour. All right, I'm going to go ahead and let the truck start coasting up to speed. We're still going downhill. But I don't think the grade fully ends until we get to that bridge down there. Get in your lane, dumbass. These fucking idiots. Driving too fast for conditions. They can't stay in their damn lane. This is what makes this job so dangerous. Just being on the road in general is really dangerous because of all the morons out here. All right, 47 degrees Fahrenheit. USA truck coming up the on ramp. Is USA truck running out west now? You usually don't see USA truck out here. And if you do see them, a DB Schenker company. If you do see them, they're usually hauling those flatbed pods. So I think USA truck got bought out by somebody. So maybe they operate out west now. I know that whenever I was with them almost 4 years ago, no, I think it's closer to 3 years. Company drivers were eastern half of the country only unless they were on a dedicated contract, which one of the dedicated contracts was that pods contract. And the owner operators could go anywhere, but it was really risky to go west as an owner operator because the freight on USA Truck's load board on the western half of the United States was very unpredictable. It was very intermittent. There would be times when there would just be no freight posted coming out of an area. So you could get over to the West Coast, you might have to deadhead 1,500 miles back to the central part of the country. "25 miles until my exit." So boat life. Yeah, there's a lot of expenses I'm going to have to account for. I need to figure out what the cost of ownership is. Like, what's going to be the cost of ownership for the boat? If it's not going to be really cheap to own the boat on a per year basis, then that's going to end the dream right there. Because I'm looking for something that's extremely cheap cost of living. Buy a $40,000 used yacht and then it only costs me like $1,000, $1,500 a year for registration, insurance, stuff like that. That's the that's what I'm hoping for. But we're gonna have to figure out what the cost of ownership is. There's just a ton of things I need to research. Like, I've never left the country. Wait a second, have I? I'm trying to remember. No, I haven't. I've never left the country. I have a passport, but like, I don't know what the rules are. Like, let's say I'm out sailing and I sail to Australia. Um, do I have to like check in with somebody once I get within a certain number of miles of Australia? Like, when I'm in Australia's territorial waters, do I have to get permission to enter their territorial waters? Do I have to check in with a some type of port authority or something before I can, come on land? Like, I don't know these rules. Um, also things like anchoring out at areas. What's the general rule of thumb? Like, if I go to the Bahamas, are there guidelines on where you can take your boat, where you can't, how long you can be there, or are there like actual laws as to like how close to the shoreline you can be and how long you can be there and where you can go, things like that. Just a second. USA Truck is just coasting the shit out of this hill, and they are flying. They are passing everybody, and they're going to run me into the back of this fucking truck, you fucking jackass. USA Truck's just barreling ass down this hill at like 80 miles an hour, and they just ran me into the back of this truck. Moron. This truck's going 60. And now USA Truck slowed way down to like 65. Are they governed at 65? We're doing 65 now. They came flying down the hill at like 80. Now they're doing 65 and just blocking the road. We're actually doing like 63. Oh my God. I hate idiots like this. Yeah, now I'm going to have to pass USA Truck because they just coasted down the hill at like 80 miles an hour to get around me, and they're governed at like 63 or 65 or something like that. They're slow. That is stupid and dangerous. It looks like he's about 21 years old. So, brand new driver, just out here being stupid. I also need to figure out like fishing regulations. I've never fished in the ocean, but if I'm going to be living on a yacht, I'm definitely going to be doing some fishing. So I just don't really know anything about the rules or the etiquette or anything. Like, I'm going to have to do tons and tons of research. I'm going to have to do more research on the boating than I did on getting back into trucking, because with trucking, I did that for 3 or 4 years, 20 years ago. So I already knew about a lot of this stuff. The boat life is completely foreign to me. I know nothing about the boat life. 17 miles to the truck stop, 47 degrees. USA Truck is about 3/4 of a mile behind me right now. I'm not sure how steep this downgrade is, but they're probably going to fly down 80 miles an hour down this hill. So they'll probably be flying by me again in their slow ass truck. When I was at USA Truck, they had a whole bunch of sensors in the truck. And if you went like 5 miles per hour over your governed speed, it would create a critical alert that went to like your driver manager. And if you went like 7 miles an hour, um, then over your governed speed, then it was like some really major alert that went to your manager's manager. Basically, it was supposed to be immediate termination. Back when I started with USA Truck, the trucks were governed at 65. They bumped the trucks up to 70 just as I switched to owner operator. So my truck was governed at 65 the entire time that I was a company driver. And I want to say that you got some kind of warning if you went over 68. And then if you went over like 71, you were supposed to get terminated. It was supposed to be like no questions asked, terminated. But apparently that's not the rules anymore, because that guy was hauling some serious ace down that hill. $15 miles. We got somebody on the shoulder on the other side of this bridge. There's nobody behind me for about 3/4 of a mile. But with how fast these cars drive, I could look back there in a couple of seconds. There might be somebody alongside me. I can't tell how far off the road they are. The trucks in front of me are not changing lanes. It looks like they're on the shoulder of the on-ramp, so I think we're good to go. Not changing lanes. 46 degrees, 14 more miles. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff that I need to read up on. And as far as the boat, I've been bouncing around between a couple of different styles of boats. You have your standard single hull boat, and then you have your dual or multi-hull boat, like the Catalina style, where it's like a pontoon boat. You know, the kind of boat that Kevin Costner had in Waterworld. I don't know if that's called a Catalina style boat or if Catalina is a brand of boat, but that like multi-hull pontoon like boat, that's one style of boat that I'm looking at. And the other one is the standard like single hull yacht, the most common type of yacht. I think that the Catalina is more expensive, and there's a few reasons that I'm leaning toward the standard single hull yacht. Um, it seems like a much simpler design. They're cheaper, and they seem like they would handle rough seas better. Like the multiple holes with the Catalina boats, yeah, I'm sure that they're a lot more stable. But if they ever like tip over past a certain point, there's no coming back from that. That's it. You're done. I don't think there's any way to right one of those boats if they tip over without having like some kind of specialized boat with a crane come out there and flip you. Whereas the standard boats, they they seem to be like much more forgiving if the boat rolls. It seems like they would just right themselves. Uh, Most of them, they look like they seal up really well. Yeah, I'm sure some water would come in if they flipped over, but it wouldn't be like just pouring in unless you had a door open or something like that. But if you had all the doors and windows sealed and closed, then it looks like they would just flip over and then just right themselves. They would flip right back over. So they would roll. Now, if that happened, I'm sure it would rip the mast off, which is something else that would be cool to look into. Like if I'm going to be in really rough seas, if I get stuck in a hurricane or something, is there an option to get a boat that has like a mast that can be taken down to make it to where the boat is much more stable? It doesn't have that top heavy load. And if the boat does roll, it's not going to rip the mast off. These are a lot of things that I need to look into. 9.6 miles. I think I already mentioned, fishing permits and all of that stuff. Like I don't know anything about being on a boat on the ocean. I don't know anything that's required. There's so much stuff I need to look into. But the boat size, oh, that's what I was talking about, is the type of boat. So it's between the single hull and the multi hull, and also the size of the boat, the length. So part of me wants to get the smallest boat I can so that it can be as cheap as possible and as easy to sail as possible. And another part of me wants to get the biggest boat I can so that I can store as much crap on the boat as possible and it'll be as comfortable as possible. So I don't know what the happy medium is between those two. Um, a 35-foot boat is something that I've heard people mention is a really good solo sailboat. It's really easy for a single person to, um, sail the boat. But I don't know if it has enough space. And something else on the 35-foot boats, there was a 35 footer that um, one of the YouTube videos was looking at, or it was a YouTube video I was watching about a 35 footer, and it had a shower. And they said that that was something that was really rare for a 35 or smaller boat. Most of them don't have showers, and this 35 footer had a shower. You know, and as far as the shower goes, even if I get a 35 footer without a shower, there may be some type of like portable shower that I can use inside the boat. Left lane closed ahead. Like, I could put a shower head in the boat and have a shower curtain that captures the water and have some type of, you know, little pool underneath that catches all the water from the shower. I don't know. There might be something that I can rig up to make work, even if I get a boat that doesn't have a shower in it already. There may be some way I can drain the water into the toilet system or something like that. And it would just be a shower that I could take up and put away, you know, set it up, and then when I need to use it, and then put it all away when I'm done with it. Because I definitely want to be showering quite a bit. You know, it's showering, having a boat without a shower would not be an issue if I'm in like the Bahamas. Um, you know, I could shower on the deck of the boat. I could just run a water hose to a shower head and I could shower on the deck of the boat. And I could, you know, if there's people around, then I could just be wearing shorts and I could just, you know, stick the soap down my pants and, you know, I could wash all of my entire body with a pair of shorts on. But what if I'm in an area where it's a colder climate? You know, it's like 40 degrees outside. um, yeah. What if I'm in that area for 2 months? I don't want to go 2 months without a shower. So having a shower inside the boat would be really, really nice. As far as other amenities go, there are several amenities that I want in the boat. One would be something that uh, creates fresh water out of salt water. I think osmosis is the most common system. So even if I get a boat that doesn't have that system, I could probably install one and it wouldn't be too terribly expensive.
In 2 miles, take exit 188 for US 395 North toward Stanfield, Hermiston.
All right, got an exit in 1.5 miles. And I've got a four-wheeler just loitering on my left side, blocking traffic. Why in the hell do cars just speed match me once they get alongside me? Like, I have this fancy invention called a cruise control that I use. What's your excuse? Why in the hell are you just sitting alongside me? Oh, she's eating. She has Fritos and like some kind of dip that she's eating. What the hell? She's not paying any damn attention. She almost, like, that is way too damn close. She's probably listening to something on the radio, eating, just not paying any fucking attention as to what she's doing.
Take exit 188, then keep right at the fork.
Oh, and let me dispel something. There are these super truckers out there, these absolute morons that talk about how, oh, I never touch my brakes until I actually get all the way on the off ramp. You shouldn't hit your brakes until you're off the interstate. You should not slow down on the interstate for an exit. Those people are morons. That is dangerous and stupid to do something like that.
Merge onto US 395 North, then turn left onto Stanfield Avenue. Turn left onto Stanfield Avenue, then you will arrive at your destination.
All right, we'll wrap up the video whenever I get parked. I've got a spot that I parked at last time. It's way away from the building, so it's usually wide open. Nobody parks back there unless they have to. So it should be just really wide open, easy to get in and out of. They have kind of a weird parking lot configuration here. They have like 3 different parking lots, all separated. Like, here's a parking lot over to the left. Here's a parking lot over to the right. And there's another parking lot straight ahead. That's the one I'm headed to. I think these are all reserved spots in most of these 2 parking lots. Yeah, that's all reserved to my left. And I think most of these spots over here are reserved. None of these over to my right are reserved. All of these along the straight ahead of me are reserved. The ones to my left are not reserved. So most of these are reserved. Like, this whole line is reserved. But the place I want to go is back here in this third lot. And I park at the very back there next to the interstate. So we're going to swing around here and we're going to get a straight back. Now, how do I choose my parking spot? Why do I park where I park? There's a lot of reasons that I park where I park. One is the sun. I don't want the sun coming in through the windshield because it turns this truck into an oven. So I want to be facing north if possible. And these spots back here face north. 2 is I don't want to get into a spot that's really tough to get into because it's really tough to get into. I don't want to deal with that crap. I don't care how good or bad I am at backing. I don't want to deal with that crap. And then also the thing you have to consider is the spots on either side of you. How hard are they to get into? Okay, this is, I was going to park next to Imperial right there, but Imperial is parked across 2 spots. So we're going to park next to the truck on the other side of Imperial because the way Imperial is parked is really, really stupid and dangerous. Um, the reason is with him parked like that, what'll end up happening is someone is going to attempt to park next to him, and they are just going to watch their driver's side mirror, and they're going to line up on the line on their driver's side, and they're going to come over into the lane to the left or to their passenger side, and they're going to hit the truck on the passenger side. So I don't want to park over there because that's just really dangerous the way Imperial is parked. And the spots on both sides of me are straight backs. So if somebody parks on either side of me, it's a straight back. So that's the reason I picked this particular spot, is because it's really easy for me to get into, and it's really easy for people on either side of me to get into. But Imperial Express, let me pull the phone out and show you this. Imperial Express, let's roll the window down. See how they're parked across the line right there? And they're at an angle. So the back of their trailer is almost in that spot, but their front of their trailer is 2 or 3 feet into the other spot. So if somebody tries to park down the side of that person, somebody might, you could get some rookie driver. Like if I parked, I didn't want to park in this spot because of the way Imperial parked. If I parked right here, then somebody might think that there was enough room for a truck to fit in that, and they would just line up on their driver's side and just park alongside Imperial, but they would hit whoever's parked in this spot right here because they wouldn't be looking down their passenger side. Now, you would think that no, somebody wouldn't be that stupid, but if you think that, then you haven't been around people very much. But yeah, that was originally where I was going to park, was alongside Imperial, but no. And the reason Imperial is not supposed to, the Imperial is not actually in a parking spot. The parking spot Imperial's in is that one that they're partially in right here. Imperial is not supposed to be parked over as far as they are, because they can get blocked in by the trucks parked in those spots right there. So if somebody parks in that spot right there, then they're probably going to be blocking Imperial from being able to get out. So that's the reason that that is not a parking spot where Imperial is at right now. Anyway, just so let's wrap up the truck, the video here. Looks like the guy parked next to me just woke up. And so let's wrap up the video. Is there anything else I want to say? Well, yeah, this is just mainly a driving video, so I apologize for the people who like to listen to what's going on and stuff. Um, this is just mainly for the people who want to watch driving videos. And now we're parked at the Pilot Flying J, and I am going to go get a shower and then try to take a nap. I just woke up about 6 to 8 hours ago, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a nap. I'll probably get tired right around the time I need to start driving. But yeah, we'll see what we can do, and then I'll get the load delivered and head over to the Pilot Flying J. I have a ton of load alerts to look through. tons of text messages from agents to look through. So we'll see if we can't find a load. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.